Okay, you know what? That was pretty epic. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the brand new DC animated original movie that is Justice League Dark Apokolips War. All of the epic terms you need to give us the culmination of the current ongoing DC animated universe. Let's get right into it. We find Earth decimated after intergalactic tyrant Darkseid has devastated the Justice League in a poorly executed war by the DC superheroes. Now, the remaining Leagues of Good, aka the Justice League, Teen Titans, and even the Suicide Squad must regroup, strategize, and take the war to Darkseid in order to save the planet and its surviving inhabitants. This is the war to end all wars, and the only victor will live to enjoy the spoils. Guys, this is indeed the culmination of this current universe. Now, I've read some articles saying it began with Justice League War, but did it really begin with the Flashpoint Paradox that came out a year prior? That's what it feels like to me. Listen, Justice League is one of my all-time favorite animated shows. Some of my favorite comic books spawn from these team members. I love everything about what this team represents. In this movie, it takes what we know about the Justice League, about the Suicide Squad, the Teen Titans. It rips that to shreds. It does things with these characters that we could never imagine, and this is a spoiler-free review. There are a lot of things to spoil here. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about that I'm not going to. I'm just here to give you guys a heads up and say, hey, this movie is epic, beyond all belief. What Avengers Infinity War and Endgame was for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, it's on a bigger scale because those movies are live action. They're coming out in theaters. For us fans of this ongoing universe, and I'll be flat honest, I haven't loved every movie they've put out. I was a bit back and forth on a couple of them, but a few of them have really stood out and have kept the quality of what we love about DC animated films, and that is kind of giving us that nostalgia that we look for, us comic book readers, but also incorporating new elements and new things. And this movie is taking so many elements from so many different comics, enough to the point to where I think it is going to frustrate some longtime comic book fans. They're going to sit back and say, that's not how it goes. But I'm actually okay with that because they've kind of formulated this new universe, and that gives them the right, in my opinion, to go in a bit of a different direction. There are relationships that form in this movie that some fans are going to love and other fans are going to hate. I've seen a bit of both online. The relationship that has been released as an official clip, so this isn't a spoiler, between Robin and Raven, but we're talking Damian Wayne's Robin, which is the newest iteration, if you will, and they're, a bit closer than friends, and I've seen some people take issue with that. It doesn't necessarily bother me because those two and their relationship has genuinely been built up over the last couple of movies, and I've liked how we've handled the incorporation of the Teen Titans in this universe. Once again, a couple of the films with the Teen Titans I wasn't the highest on, but I've given every movie almost in this universe a positive score because it's just so much fun being with these characters. It's so much fun interacting with these teams, and the voice cast is outstanding. We know how good Batman is. We know how good Wonder Woman is, but this time, Superman, Constantine, Raven, Robin, Etrigan the Demon, and a bit of Batman, they are at the forefront this time around. So we're dealing with a new-ish team trying to stop what happened to some of our other players and to the rest of the teams. And that's not me saying everyone is dead, but expect death to happen in this movie. I mean, this is all-out war, man, and it's rated R. So you don't just get to see, oh no, they're pushed into space and we don't see them anymore. You're seeing limbs ripped apart. You're seeing characters torn to shreds. You're seeing certain characters that we know and love get stabbed right in the chest, and I was blown away. I knew it was rated R because some of these other films have been rated R, but I didn't know it was going to be this intense. I didn't know it was going to be this bloody, and it is all-out war with Darkseid. This is what I've wanted from Darkseid, man. I look at the live-action universe, if it's still a universe, and I say, what a missed opportunity. And this isn't me bashing on those films. It's just, you had all of these films to build these characters up, so at this point, we have enough there to where we can care about them. Obviously, we're going to care about Batman and his relationship with his son. Obviously, we're going to care about Superman and Wonder Woman's relationship, Superman and Lois Lane's relationship, the characters that have interacted since day one. A couple of them go out early, so we don't get the chance to see them in action in this film the way that we have been seeing them in action. But what we do get, and the characters that we push to the forefront this time, and I love that they went with the title Justice League Dark. One, because this is a dark movie. Two, because we're continuing on the storyline with Constantine. Fan favorite Matt Ryan returning once again as Constantine, who kills it in this role, man. There will never be another guy who encapsulates the spirit of what I love right now in Constantine. And obviously he doesn't work super well with the team, but the chemistry between the voice cast works so well. Jerry O'Connell as Superman, Taysa Farmiga as Raven, John DiMaggio as King Shark. What an interesting choice of words they had for King Shark. And of course, Tony Todd as Darkseid. Now, there have been really good interpretations of Darkseid's voice over the years. Obviously, the Justice League animated series in the early 2000s, that was great. What we knew from the Superman show in the 90s. Tony Todd, man, he may be one of the best we've seen. And it sucks, because if we ever do get a live-action Darkseid, they'll recast, and I'm just going to be sitting back going, but I like Tony Todd. I mean, the story almost starts out as like, what if our characters did this and the world went into pure chaos? But you end this movie thinking there is a bit of hope for this situation. I won't say what that hope is, but the final scene, I mean, you see the light in the horizon. You understand where this could lead. Now, they're saying this is the final movie, so I don't think we'll see the repercussions of what happens here, because I think this is the end of this universe. But it's a nice emotional payoff, and if it does indeed kind of come back around to where I think it comes back around to, then I think that's the perfect way to leave it off. Not everyone's going to be satisfied with the finale here, and obviously this movie isn't perfect, right? With these animated films, we do get a bit of exposition shouted out every now and then, and the characters can't just allow us to see the situation that they're in. They have to say it out loud, but that's kind of understandable when you're looking at what the target audience of this movie and this series of movies actually is. But I love how it broadens that audience, goes with an R rating, does what we love from the comic books, pays off on the epic action, and gives us a film that I think is a combination of what we've loved about this universe so far. And it gave me one of my personal favorite entries. I mean, it really was epic beyond all belief. And I love seeing a different interpretation of some of these characters, and things happen to heroes that I grew up with and I love that I kind of want to unsee, but then again, I don't want to forget this experience because it will break your heart at times, and not everyone's going to be on board with that. If you didn't love this movie like I did, I completely understand, but as someone who wasn't expecting this level of payoff, and who just loves seeing all of our heroes together in action. Now, obviously, it isn't all of our heroes because things happen along the way, but this particular team-up, Constantine, Raven, Superman, why did this work so well? I can't tell you why, but they did a really good job with it. I'm even like super pumped with Rainn Wilson as Lex Luthor. At first, I'm like, that's just Dwight from The Office, and now I'm just like, I'll never hear him again as Lex Luthor. Maybe. I don't know. What I love about this film is it feels like it serves a purpose. It feels like it does have this sense of payoff that I wasn't even expecting. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Are you on the other side of the fence? Was it too much exposition? Was it too much of what I feel to be a shift in this DC animated world? Because it's very different, and it will do things that will offend some people. But I really enjoyed my experience. So before I give you guys my score, if you like these DC animated reviews and you want to see more things like it, and maybe a DC animated movie tier list, I'm thinking about that. Let me know. Smash that thumbs up button and comment below. I'm going an 8 out of 10. 80% for Justice League Dark, Apokolips War, one of the higher scores I've given for a DC animated movie in quite some time. My favorites include Batman Under the Red Hood. I really loved Flashpoint Paradox. Some of the earlier ones really speak to me, but as of late, I think this is my favorite of the newer entries, and maybe even of this universe. We'll have to let it sit for a little bit. So thank you guys for watching. How did you feel about this epic and crazy movie? Who was your favorite character? What's your favorite voice cast here? Also, some of you guys may ask me, Austin, where did you find this movie? I mean, I can't really you're going to have to buy this movie. I had to spend $19.99. It's unavailable to rent yet. So if you want to hold out, I completely understand. If you think it's worth buying, I'm going to say it's a recommendation from me to buy. If you don't want to drop the 20 bucks, I completely understand. It should be available to rent here shortly. I'll try to keep you guys updated on this channel for that. But as of right now, Amazon Prime, that's where I got mine. That's where you guys can get yours. And I'll see you very soon.